And since the shrimp are a little large, I just used the scissors and I cut them in half, lengthwise. So to just increase the volume of the shrimp and just keep it looking good. It should look like a whole, like a whole shrimp, but you get more out of the batch. So I just hold it like that. Just get the scissors in there because they're already deveined and shelled. I just divide it in half lengthwise, and there you go. You have it. Once I'm finished that, I just rinse them off again, and I'll season with some bullion powder and complete seasoning. I'm not putting any salt on it because seafood tends to get really salty if you add too much seasoning. So just some bullion powder and some complete seasoning, and we'll go from there. So for the shrimp, I'll just use a half a teaspoon of bullion, half a teaspoon of bullion powder there, half a teaspoon of complete seasoning, because we're going to be using other seasonings for the pumpkin and everything else. So you don't want to over season the dish, the entire dish, but so you just want the shrimp to get a little bit of flavor, and you're going to marinate it with this. You use quarter teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Give it some heat. And we'll just stir this all together. And I want to set this aside for at least a half an hour so that it can marinate. Okay, and I'll be back. So welcome again. Welcome to Chris's Caribbean Delights. And what are we doing today? We're making some pumpkin and shrimp. Pumpkin and shrimp. It's a Guyanese favorite dish. I mean, I guess it's a favorite dish, and all over the Caribbean. But I grew up on eating pumpkin and shrimp. But my mom and my dad, they cooked it. And they cooked it with a little bit of curry in it. But I'm not going to put any curry in it today. I'm just going to do the pumpkin and shrimp with lots of aromatics and veggies. So, here we have a pumpkin. I have half of a pumpkin here that's cut up. And I have some bell peppers, garlic, thyme, and some hot pepper. A piece of hot pepper under there. I have onion, about a cup of onion. I used half of a large onion. And here I have garlic powder, onion powder, complete seasoning, and this is the bullion powder, and that's some tajin. That's that lime-based seasoning that I love so much. So those are the seasonings we're gonna put in there. I already seasoned the shrimp. I have some green seasoning on there, which I added later. Some bullion powder and some complete seasoning. No salt, because, shrimp absorbs everything, and you don't want the dish to be salty. You're going to add your salt. This is going to be my salt base for the entire dish. If I need more, I can add some more bullion powder, or maybe just a touch of salt. But for the shrimp, no. I have some green seasoning here, which I'll use. Cilantro, culantro, all the green things that I have. I blended it up with some garlic and onion and a little bit of hot pepper. And I have that in there. Preserve it with some salt. So I'll use maybe a tablespoon of that in the entire dish. So Let's now cook our shrimp first. We're going to measure. I'm going to do two tablespoons of oil. I love this contraption here. You can measure your oil tablespoons at a time. How many tablespoons you want. You squeeze these two knobs and the oil comes up, right? And then you just pour. So I have 1 tablespoon here. I'll just squeeze again here, squeeze here. There we go. Another tablespoon. So, all these countries, these are making cooking so easy. I just love it. So, we're going to let this oil heat up for a little bit. And we're going to be back and put our shrimp in there and get it cooked. We'll just cook the shrimp for about a minute or a minute and a half because it's going to go back into the fire, into the cooking process with the pumpkin eventually. So let's let our oil heat up and we'll come back, cook our shrimp. So let's get our shrimp in. I'm going to cook the shrimp for about a minute until it gets nice and pink. We won't cook it too long because it has to go back into the cooking process again with the pumpkin. So let's let that go for a minute or so. So my shrimp is cooking up pretty nicely here. Just have a few seconds more and then we'll take this off. We'll take them out and continue with our other aromatics here. We just want them to get nice and pink. I think that's good enough. And I'm using medium to low heat. So here we go. We go in with the onions. Go in with the onions. I love to have my thyme in there so that they start crackling and popping and the leaves come off. Go in with the bell pepper. That will take a little while to soften. The cilantro. So I just let this cat itself. Now let's get some heat and infuse that oil and release some of its flavor. And then we'll add the other stuff, the garlic. You don't want to put the garlic in too early because you don't want your garlic to burn. So let's get our garlic in there now. A couple pieces of this hot pepper. I'm not going to put too much. And cilantro and the scallion. And a little bit of this bullion powder, garlic powder, tajin. I'm going to save the rest for the pumpkin. Once the pumpkin goes in there, it might need a little bit more seasoning. So, we'll just add that in there. Now we're going to add our pumpkin in. Oh, let's get the whole, yeah, let's get it all in there. As you can see, it was frozen, and it's now, well, I've had it out of the freezer for a while, but it's still held its cold temp. So, and it's going to release a little bit of water in there, so that'll be good while it thaws off and becomes really nice and soft. So I just break them apart. I need a stronger spatula here. Yeah. And as you know, it's pumpkin season, so you could be making pumpkin soups. And this is this is the pumpkin I bought earlier, about a week ago. When I did another pumpkin dish, which I'll put I put the link in the bottom there in the description box for you, so you can check it out. Okay, so this is looking really nice, pretty good here. We'll see how much water. We're going to cover this and just let it go. See how much water it releases, and if it's too dry, we'll add some more water to it. Okay, so let's cover it and leave it for about maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll be back. So after about 5 minutes, it has sprung some water, and it's getting nice and soft. It's up to you how you like your pumpkin. If you like your pumpkin really smashed, like I do, I just like little pieces of chunks, little chunks in there. But other than that, I would like it really, really mushy. Yeah, you know. And that you can eat it with a roti, you can eat it nicely on some rice or so. So we'll just let this go for another 5 minutes or so, and I'll be back just you know, trying to get them to smaller pieces and to mush it up a little more. Okay, and then we'll add our shrimp. So that's doing fine. So here we go. We have this little guy here that's going to help us with the crushing of the pumpkin. They're getting nice and soft. This is good. I just love it like this. Yeah, this little guy here, he helps with the crushing of stuff. If you have even potatoes, anything you have and that you want to crush your meat, ground beef. He's wonderful with ground beef. Anytime you're cooking ground beef, if you have one of these, just use it, and to get your ground beef nice and separated. Let's add the shrimp to the dish and mix it in. I just like to taste it. Let me get a taste here. Nice and sweet. If your pumpkin is not sweet, you can add a little bit of sugar to it. I added the rest of the garlic powder, the onion powder, the tajin, and a little bit of the bullion powder. And depending on how dry you want it, that's another preference. If you want it really dry like this, you can leave it like that, or you can add a little water. I added maybe about 2 tablespoons of water because I wanted a little moisture in there, a little bit of a sauce kind of thing. So I'm just let this simmer for about 5 minutes and we'll be back. And you're done. Okay. Let's cover and simmer 5 minutes and we're done. Here we go, guys. I added the 2 tablespoons of water. Then I added another tablespoon of water. And this is exactly how I want it. Nice. Moist, but not runny. See, when you pick it up, you can see the bottom of the pot. It's not runny. So, there we go. Once again, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next clip. Let's taste this sucker.